Hey, I'm Courtney from Harmony Health and Fitness. Thanks for joining me from Kal Lake in beautiful British Columbia today for this gorgeous flow to help us to open up the shoulders. For more information about our programs, check out harmonyhealthandfitness.ca. I hope you enjoy.
Let's go ahead and get comfortable on our mats here today by laying down and finding a spot that feels cozy. Feel free to make any adjustments, maybe to our shirts or to our hair, to make sure that we can fully allow the nervous system to release here. Feel free to take a bend through the knees and plant the feet to support the lower back as well. Let's symbolize our arrival onto our mat here today by counting 3 or 4 nice, long, big breaths in and out. Let's just notice the sense of calm that these breaths bring to us. Notice the heart rate and how it begins to slow down. Let's also notice how it feels to live in the present moment, following our breaths in and out of the body. After our 3 or 4 deep breaths, let's just find a rhythmic inhale and exhale, noticing the correlation between the rise of the body up and away from the mat on the inhale and the sinking of our body back down into the mat on our exhale. Inhale, feeling light, airy, and free. Exhale, feeling grounded, connected, and secure. Continuing on with these nice, long, rhythmic breaths, let's soften the forehead. Soften right eyebrow and left eyebrow, right eye and left eye. Let's separate the teeth in the back of the mouth, releasing through our jaw, cheeks, ears, and temples. Feel the back of the head connect gently to the mat, releasing through back of the neck, shoulder blades, arms, all the way down the spine, hips, glutes, and let's release the pelvis here. Releasing all the way down right leg and all the way down left leg. Connecting our minds to our bodies, living in this beautiful moment. As we flow through our practice today, let's always remember to let go of competition, judgment, and expectation of ourselves. Listening, breathing, feeling, and letting go. Let's enjoy our flow here today, honoring our body every step of the way. Let's take a big stretch up over the head here. Big reach, maybe some movement through the ankles. And we're going to make our way into banana posture. Take a step over with the right foot, over to the right side, crossing the left ankle over top of the right, and curving the upper body over to the right side. Fingertips can be interlaced or separated. Let's breathe into the left side of the body here. Nice big inhales and exhales. And we'll make our way back to the center, bending the knees and planting the feet. We'll come into a few windshield wipers through the legs, both knees dropping to one side, then coming up and over, bringing the knees to the other side. With our arms still above our head, we can see curve away from the knees, bringing our spine into this gorgeous twist. Inhale to come up, exhale to curve. Inhale, up, exhale to curve. Extending the legs long again, we'll come into banana posture on the left side, walking over with the left foot, crossing right ankle above left. C curving our upper body to the left side. Big breaths in and out to the right side. Feel that sense of opening. Let's come back to the center. Bend through the knees, plant through the feet. Arms still in a big reach above the head. We'll come back into our windshield wipers, moving from side to side. Knees drop one direction, and we'll curve our body away from the knees to the opposite side. Doing a few more here, feeling all the sensation through the body. Inhale, bring the knees up. Exhale to the other side. Coming back to neutral, we'll rise the right arm above the head and roll onto our right side, cushioning our head with the right arm. Take a breath here, and then let's push our way up into seated. Get comfortable here. Let yourself wiggle in, finding the sit bones. And we'll do some gentle neck rolls from side to side. We'll be here for a few moments, so feel free to give yourself this time to explore. There's no right or wrong here, as long as it feels good for your body and is the perfect movement. Let's notice where the breath is at and see if we need to inhale and exhale just a little longer. Let's come back to neutral and look over each shoulder, loosening out the neck rolls here. Taking our right arm over to the right side and a big reach through the left arm up and over into that lateral flexion. We'll swoop forward, bring the left palm to the mat, big reach with the right arm. Swooping forward, opening the left arm. Swoop forward, left hand plants into the mat, right hand opens up. Swoop forward. Let's aim to open the rib cage here. A nice revolve up to the sky. Swoop forward and open the chest and ribs. We'll sit up here and bring our arms straight out to the sides, crossing right arm over top of the left for an eagle posture. Let's find the bind that feels best for us. Option should just bring hands to the shoulders. Once we find the bind that works, we'll bring the elbows away from us and slightly up. And we'll round our spine into a forward fold. Opening up the scapula here, creating beautiful space through the shoulder blades of the back body. Rising up, we'll windmill the right arm back to our mats behind us, then the left arm. Press into the fingertips and rise up with strength through the arms. Open the chest. Gentle squeeze into back body. Maybe a look up to the sky, or maybe we just keep our gaze forward. Bring the head back up. And we'll come into our reaches. Again, left side first, reaching across, opening up through the right. Swooping across the front of the body, opening the rib cage. Swoop, nice lateral flexion here, opening up to the sky. Swooping forward, feeling that lower back and sacroiliac joint begin to open up here. Beautiful. Arms come up, reaching the fingertips away from one another. We'll come eagle posture with the left arm on top. Let's find the variation that works best for us. Pull the elbows away, slightly up, And we'll forward fold here. Couple of big breaths in and out. Once again, feeling the shoulder blades of the body open up here. Sitting back up, we'll open the arms nice and wide into our goddess arms, spreading the fingertips apart. Big breath into the chest. Beautiful. Let's come to all fours. Settling into all fours, we'll stack the shoulders above the wrists, the hips above the knees. Option to come up onto the fingertips to open the shoulders more. Let's cat-cow. Coming into cat, we'll tuck the tail, round the spine, open the shoulders, and look back. Moving into cow posture, lift the tail, saddle the back, and drop the belly. Look ahead. Cat posture, tucking tailbone down, rounding through spine, looking to the belly button. And moving into cow, lifting the tail, saddling the back, dropping the belly, look ahead. Inhale to hold our cat posture. Exhale to move into cow. Inhale to hold cow. Exhale to round into cat. Moving into neutral position here. We'll bring the hands down to the mat and thread the needle. Let's drop the right shoulder down to the mat. Right side of the face comes down. Then we exhale and press up to the sky. Inhale, thread the right arm underneath the left side. And then open up to the right side, reaching the right arm up to the sky. Inhale, thread the needle. Dropping the right side of the head to the mat. Exhale, gorgeous opening up to the right side. One more. Inhale, thread the needle. Right comes under left. And exhale to press up to the sky. We're going to walk our hands back here, windmilling left hand to left hip and right hand to right hip. Roll the shoulders down and back and take this big opening through the front of the shoulders and through the chest. Gentle squeeze into back body. Maybe a glance up towards the sky. Tailbone is neutral here. Lower back is nice and in alignment. Lift through the chest. Windmill right hand down and left hand down. And we'll walk our hands far forward on our mat. Coming down with the forehead towards the mat, dropping the chest, a little saddle of the back, and a lift of the tailbone up to the sky for puppy posture. If we'd like, we can take a little sway of the hips from side to side in puppy pose. We'll look ahead. Walking our way back into an all fours position, settling in. We'll cat-cow here, possibly coming to the fingertips. Rounding up into cat on our inhale. Exhaling to swoop through to cow. Inhale to hold. Exhale into cat posture. Inhale, hold. Exhale, cow. Lift the tail, shine the heart ahead. Look forward to horizon. Feel all the feels of the spine. Feel the shoulders opening up through the front on our cow posture and through the back body on our cat posture. One more. Let's come back to neutral. Threading the needle on the left side. Left arm reaches under the body and up towards the sky. Inhale, thread left hand under the right side of the body. Left side of the head taps down to the mat. And on our exhale, big opening to the left side, reaching up to the sky. Inhale, thread the needle. Exhale, open. One more. Inhale to thread the needle. Exhale to open. Beautiful. We'll walk back to a camel posture again. Shoulders above hips, hips above knees. We can keep the hands to the hips again like we did before, or we can walk the hands to the ankles for a bigger expression through the front of the shoulders and all the way down the front of the body. Lift the chest, keeping tailbone as neutral as possible. We open the throat here as well. Look ahead, windmill right, then left, back to all fours. Let's open up the knees and slide back here for a restful child's pose. Feel free to make the child's pose your own. If we'd like, we can place the palms together and reach the fingertips up to the sky and down the spine as a variation for the arms. Feeling free to do the arm variation that we like the best in child's pose. We'll release the hands to the mat here and look ahead, preparing for choosing to rest or flow. Releasing the hands back to the mat, we'll look ahead and glide our way forward back to all fours. Let's walk the hands one step ahead and draw our body weight forward to kneeling plank. Hug the rib cage, draw belly up, and press the elbows towards the back of the mat for chaturanga. Lowering down, lifting the chest here for cobra. Release the wrist, plant the hands on either side of the chest, and we'll press back for our first downward facing dog. Let's ensure our wrists are nice and long, so are the arms. Underarms are wide open to the mat, head is heavy, looking up towards the thighs. Hugging the rib cage and drawing the belly in, we'll lift the tailbone up to the sky as we pedal our feet. Settling in, we'll draw forward into plank. Option to come to kneeling plank. Chaturanga, keep the rib cage and belly strong. Lift up into cobra, shine the chest ahead. Plant the hands on either side of the chest and draw back for child's pose. Place the forehead to the mat if we wish. Let's look ahead. Come to all fours. Come away from the fingertips. Flip to the balls of the feet and come up to downward facing. Let's come forward to plank or kneeling plank and lower down using chaturanga. Lifting into cobra, maybe a release of the wrists. Plant the hands on either side of the chest for a big press back to child's pose. Let's look ahead here. Draw forward into all fours, but then coming away from the fingertips, flipping to balls of the feet and lifting up into downward facing dog. We'll glide our body weight forward into plank or kneeling plank here. Using chaturanga to lower down towards the mat, we have cobra or upward facing dog. Let's all press back to a child's pose here. We're now going to come into what we call choosing to rest or flow. As you can see here, I am going to continue flowing. You're welcome to join me. Or perhaps we just feel like resting today, staying in child's pose for the next few breaths. We can also allow our body that exploration time here, possibly staying in downward facing dog for a few extra breaths. Let's just let our bodies be our guide and honor our bodies each step of the way, just doing whatever we feel like doing. Let's just continue to listen, breathe, feel, and let go for a few more moments. If we are flowing, we'll take our last flow right here. Coming back to child's pose. Let's look ahead and let's all make our way into downward facing dog. Nice big breath in and out here. Then we'll soften our knees and hop our walk forward towards our hands and come into a forward fold. Let's inhale to come to a halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs, spine is long, and back down into a forward fold. Take a big reverse swan dive to reach all the way up to the sky, gentle grasp of left wrist for lateral flexion over to the right side. Big reach up, exchange the wrist, lateral flexion to the left side. Reaching back up to the sky, we'll take the hands to an arm variation that feels good for us, hands to hips, low back, or beach ball arms. Soften the knees and forward fold into the expression that feels good for us in this moment. Come to a halfway lift, releasing the arms, hands to shins or thighs, back down to forward fold. Inhale to circle sweep all the way up, gentle grasp of left wrist, lateral flexion to the right. Inhale, reach up, exchange the wrist flexion to the left. Inhale, reach up to the sky, and let's find that arm variation that feels good here behind the back. Soften through the knees and forward fold. Very nice. Inhale to a halfway lift, release the hands here to the shins or to the thighs. Spine is long, we look ahead, and release back down to forward fold. Take a big circle sweep, a nice reach all the way up to the sky, gentle grasp of left wrist, flexion to the right. Inhale, reach up, exchange the wrist, flexion to the left. Inhale, reach up, and on our exhale, let's find our arm variation behind the body. Softening through the knees here, exhale into forward fold. On our inhale, we'll come to a halfway lift, release the hands to shins or thighs, extend the spine, and exhale, back down again. Big circle sweep all the way up. Let's bring our palms together and then into heart center. We'll step the right foot forward, the left foot comes back to find warrior one with right foot forward. Let's settle in through the feet, finding all four corners of the front and back foot out on that slight angle. We'll take a big reach and gorgeous opening of the front of the body here. Elbows are slightly bent. There's a gentle squeeze into the back body. Palms are wide open. We can look ahead or just lift that chin ever so slightly. And we'll windmill the hands down to frame the front foot, stepping the front foot back to the left. We can meet in downward facing dog, or we can choose to flow here. Chaturanga, Cobra, or upward facing dog, and pressing back so we all meet in downward facing. Let's press the right heel down and lift the left leg up to the sky. Left knee takes a big step forward. In between the hands, we reach up with the arms with strength. Feet are in warrior one position. Back right foot is out to the side. Left toes are facing forward. Arms are open, chest slightly lifted. Let's reach both arms forward to frame the front foot and step back to plank. We can choose to flow here or to just go right to downward facing dog. Breathing along the way. Let's all meet back in downward facing dog here. Pressing the left heel down into the mat, we'll rise the right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Right knee comes into the chest for that big step forward in between the hands. Lift and layer back left foot down onto the mat for warrior one. Opening up the chest and the front of the shoulders nice and wide. We take a little bend into that front knee, right knee in and around right ankle. From here, let's prepare for pyramid posture, extending both legs long. Hips are square. Let's find the arm variation that works best for us here again, just like in those forward folds. Hands can be to hips, lower back, or in those beach ball arms. Taking a look to the space behind us and then coming to that halfway lift. Softening into front knee, placing the hands back down to the mat. We'll step back for plank or kneeling plank. Choosing to flow or meeting in downward facing dog. And we'll all meet back in down dog here. Pressing the right heel down, we'll lift the left leg up to the sky for three-legged dog. Left knee comes into the chest for a big step forward in between the hands. Lift and layer back right foot down for warrior one. Opening up the arms into that gorgeous goddess posture. Little lift of the chest, maybe of the chin. Left knee floating in and around left ankle. Legs are strong. Let's extend the legs here. Find the arm variation of choice. Shoulders above the hips. Hips are nice and square as we forward fold into our pyramid posture. Still trying to keep those hips nice and square. Let's glance to the space behind us. Coming to a halfway lift, releasing the hands. We'll bring the hands back down to the mat to frame the left foot. Step left foot back to plank or kneeling plank. Here's our choosing to flow, or you can go straight into downward facing dog. We'll all meet in down dog here. Adding on, we'll press left heel into the mat. Right leg raises up for three-legged dog. Right knee into the chest for that big step forward. Lift and layer back, left foot down. Big reach forward and lifting up with that power through the core. Open the arms. Little gentle squeeze into that back body. Slight lift up the chest. And we'll bring the hands behind us to find that opening that feels good. Extending the legs long, squaring the hips. We'll forward fold into our pyramid posture. Both feet are firmly grounded into the mat, allowing for that sense of security in our fold. We are never stuck in a posture, always feeling free to move. Let's lift up to a halfway fold and release the hands, but press the arms powerfully along the side of the body, soften into front knee, and stand up powerfully onto front right leg. Left leg is strong as we press out through back left heel and point left toes down to the mat in warrior three. Lowering left foot back down, framing the front foot, stepping back to plank. We can choose to flow or meet back in downward facing dog. Beautiful job, everybody. Let's press the right heel down and lift the left leg up to the sky. Left knee takes a big step forward in between the hands. We reach up with the arms with strength. Feet are in warrior one position. Back right foot is out to the side. Left toes are facing forward. Arms are open, chest slightly lifted. Extend both legs long, preparing for pyramid, finding that arm variation of choice, square hips, and forward fold, glancing to that space behind us. Finding our balance, possibly looking at something that's not moving. Finding our abdominal group and finding our breath to hold our balance here. Let's come to a halfway lift, release the hands powerfully along the side of the body, slight bend of both knees as we prepare for warrior three. Left leg is strong like a pillar, right leg presses through the energy of the back right heel, right toes point down, chest points ahead, and we look forward. Lowering right foot back down, we frame the front foot, stepping back into plank. Here's our choosing to flow, or we can meet back in downward facing. Let's all come to downward facing dog here. Pressing left heel down into the mat, we'll rise right leg up to the sky. Right knee comes into the chest, big step forward in between the hands. Lift and layer back left foot for warrior one. Reaching up, and let's open up the chest. Beautiful. Breathing here, finding that peaceful warrior one. We'll bring the hands into our arm variation, extend both legs long, square the hips, and come into our pyramid posture with the forward folds. Glancing to that space behind us and finding our balance through the strength of both of our legs. Beautiful. Let's lift into a halfway lift, release the arms, find stability into front right foot. And as we become ready, we lift back left leg away from the mat. Left toes pointing down, chest sends forward, spine is long. We look slightly ahead on our mat or floor. Lowering left foot back down, we're going to revolve open to the wide edge of our mat to find our warrior two. Beautiful. From here, we'll bring the arms behind us. Again, finding an arm variation that feels nice to open the front of the body. That can be to the hips, top of the hand into the palm, or we can find either forearm. Let's take a glance over that right shoulder and find that inner strength. Right knee floats over right ankle. Lifting the arms back up through warrior two, and then we'll windmill down to frame the front foot, step back to plank. Here's our choosing to flow, or find downward facing. Let's all move back to downward facing dog here. Pressing right heel down into the mat, we'll lift left leg up to the sky. Left knee comes into the chest for that big step forward. Lift and layer back right foot down for warrior one. Big reach up and open. Gentle squeeze into back body. Elbows pump just slightly behind the body. Palms open. Maybe that slight look up. Breathing here. Extending both legs long, preparing for pyramid posture. Find the arm variation that we've grown to love. Square the hips and forward fold. Let's come to our halfway lift here. Release through the arms, pressing them powerfully along the side of the body. Slight bend into left knee. And lengthen left leg as we press right heel back, finding our balance in warrior three. Open the chest here. Gentle squeeze into back body, looking slightly ahead. As we lower right foot back down to the mat, we windmill right hand open to wide edge of the mat, facing the other side, finding our warrior two. Always feeling free to move the feet around to find ankle support that feels good for us. Planting both feet down, left knee sinks in and around left heel. Left inner thigh is strong. We find our arm variation. We look over our left shoulder. Feel strong here. Lifting the arms back up through warrior two. We'll windmill down to frame the front foot, swiveling on that back right foot. Here's plank. Choosing to flow or just coming into downward facing dog. Let's all meet back in downward facing dog here. We're pressing the left heel down here. We'll rise up through right leg, three-legged dog. Right knee comes into the chest for big step forward. Lift and layer left foot down. Big reach up and open into our peaceful warrior one here. One more big breath in and out. Let's find our arm variation for pyramid, lengthening through both legs, squaring the hips, forward folding into our pyramid posture. Big breath in and out. Let's come to our halfway lift, releasing our arms along the sides of the body, palms in. Soften into right knee and then strengthen right leg, lifting left leg away and behind us, pressing through that back left heel. Arms are strong, chest is forward. Bringing left foot down, let's take the left hand to lead us into Warrior Two. Finding that arm variation of choice and finding the footwork that feels good on our ankles. Right knee floating over right ankle, inner thigh of the right leg strong, so is the back left leg. Taking that peek over the right shoulder. From here, we'll drop the right arm down onto our front right leg and reach the left arm up to the sky. Another variation is take right arm to the hip or to the lower back. We want to keep that left shoulder nice and open and revolve the left side of the rib cage open. We can also adjust our gaze forward or slightly up. Let's windmill all the way down to frame that front foot, swiveling on the back foot. We can choose to flow here from plank, or we can meet in downward facing dog. All meet back in downward facing dog here. Planting right heel down, lifting left leg up for three-legged dog. Left knee comes into the chest for our big step forward, lifting and layering right foot for Warrior One. Lifting up with strength and opening into our peaceful and calm Warrior One. Big breath in and out here. Preparing for pyramid, finding our arm variation, lengthening the legs, squaring the hips, both feet firmly grounded as we forward fold, looking to the space behind us. Let's lift to a halfway lift, releasing the arms to that powerful Warrior Three arms, palms in towards one another, standing strong on left leg, right leg pressing back with strength as we balance in our Warrior Three. Chest presses forward, we look ahead, and we float right leg back down to the mat. Windmill that right arm open to the wide edge of the mat, finding Warrior Two. Let's come into our arm variation that opens the front of the body and settle into left knee, floating in and around left ankle. Left inner thigh is open and strong. Back right leg is strong, pressing down into the four corners of the back right foot. Beautiful. Up through Warrior Two arms. Left arm comes on to the left legs, reaching up into extended side angle. Our arm can reach up to the sky, come to the hip, or to the low back. Revolve right shoulder and right side of the rib cage open and find the neck variation that feels best for us. We can look down or forward or up. Take right hand and windmill it all the way down to frame the front foot. Swivel on the back right foot to step back to plank or kneeling plank. We can flow here or just meet back in downward facing dog. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. Let's plant the left heel and rise up through the right leg. Bring the right knee into the chest and take a big step forward. Lower down the back foot, rising up into Warrior One, Goddess Arms. Breathing here. Take the hands behind us for beach ball. Extend front right leg and forward fold. Look to the space behind you and breathe. Come to a halfway lift. Hands reach behind us, point fingertips away. Strong Warrior Three. Find your focal point, find your abs, and find your breath. Lower back foot down and rise up into warrior two, right foot forward. Find your arm variation and let's breathe. Right arm to front right leg, extended side angle, arms in the variation that works best. Breathe in and out. Left hand to back left leg for reverse, right arm up to the sky. We might find a different arm variation to hip or lower back here. Windmill down to frame the front foot. Press back to plank, downward facing dog or flow. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog here. Pedaling out the feet, pressing one heel at a time into the mat. We'll press the right heel into the mat and lift the left leg up to the sky. Bringing left knee into the chest, big step forward, layer right foot down, rising up into warrior one with goddess arms. Big breath in and out. Let's bring the arms behind us, lengthen front left leg, open the chest and shoulders, forward folds. Big breath in and out. Coming to a halfway lift, release the fingertips for warrior three and press the right leg back with strength. Find focal point, abdominal group and breath. Bring right foot down and open wide edge of the mat for a powerful warrior two. Find the arm variation of your choice here. Big breath in and out. Bring left forearm to left leg. Right arm finds the arm variation of choice as we revolve the right side of the body open to the sky. Big breath in and out. Take right hand to back right leg and lift left arm to the sky for reverse warrior. Option to find an arm variation at hip or lower back. Let's revolve both arms to frame the front foot and step back for plank. Choice to meet in downward facing or to flow here. Let's all meet back in downward facing. We'll go through our flow another 4 times, moving a little faster. Let's press left heel down into the mat and rise up through right leg. Right knee to chest, glide forward, big step, rise up for warrior one, goddess arms. Bring the hands behind us for beach ball, lengthen front leg, forward fold into pyramid posture. Inhale up, arms release behind us for warrior three, and up and around for warrior two with our arm variation of choice. Windmill down into extended side angle, take hand to hip or lower back. Reverse warrior here, finding arm variation of choice. Windmill down, frame the front foot, step back to plank, meet in downward facing or choose to flow. Let's all meet in downward facing dog here. Press right heel down, left leg comes up to the sky, left knee into chest, big step forward, left leg, warrior one with goddess arms. Bring the hands behind us, lengthen the left leg for pyramid, forward fold with arm variation. Lifting up, we'll find our left-legged warrior three. Find your power. Step back with right leg, come up and into warrior two with arm variation. Windmill down to extended side angle. Bring right hand to hip or lower back or left thigh. Right hand comes into the arm variation for reverse warrior. Windmill down, frame the front foot, find plank, choosing to come to down dog or flow here. Let's all meet back in downward facing dog. Pressing left heel down, right leg up to three-legged. Right knee into chest, big step forward. Warrior one with goddess arms. Hands come to beach ball, extend front leg. Pyramid posture, forward folds. Lift back up into warrior three. Press with strength from the crown of the head to the heel. Lower the leg down and find your arm variation for warrior two. Right arm to right leg, left arm to hip or lower back for extended side angle. Finding reverse warrior with the arm variation of choice. Windmill down, frame the front foot, step back to plank, down dog or flowing here. Let's all meet back in downward facing. Plant right heel into the mat and lift left leg up to the sky for three-legged dog. Left knee comes into the chest, big step forward. Layer right foot down, warrior one, goddess arms. Hands come behind us for beach ball, extend left leg long for pyramid posture, forward fold. Halfway lift, release the hands and step onto front left leg. Powerful out through back right heel, warrior three. Stepping open to warrior two, finding arm variation of choice. Extended side angle, left arm to left leg, right arm to hip or low back. Windmill down, frame the front foot, step back to plank, lower the knees, and glide back for a restful, much-deserved child's pose. Settle in here and take a few big breaths. As an option, we can bring the palms together and point the fingertips up to the sky and then down the back. Another nice big inhale and exhale here, possibly grazing the inner thighs with the belly. Let's release the hands back to the mat and draw ourselves up into all fours. Keeping the legs the same, we'll thread the right arm underneath the left and slide back into our child's pose. Always feel free to make adjustments to make the posture suitable for our body. A few more big breaths in and out here. Enjoying the stretch. Enjoying coming back into nice, long, even breaths. Lifting the head, we'll remove the right arm and thread the left arm underneath the right. Sitting back down into child's pose, resting the forehead if that's available to us. Possibly walking the fingertips of the right hand a little further forward. Let's rest here for a few more breaths. Lifting the head here, we'll walk our hands forward into kneeling plank using chaturanga to lower ourselves down onto our tummies, onto the mat. Extending the right arm long, we'll keep the left hand in towards the chest, using the left hand to push our way open. we can bring our left leg behind us, planting the left foot behind right leg. Feel free to take a different arm variation through the right arm. Left hand can stay where it is, or it might lift up to the hip or to the lower back. We're resting gently on the right side of the face. Just notice where the chin is at. We want to be looking forward as opposed to having that chin tucked towards the chest. Let's breathe here. We'll bring the left arm back up and to the side of the chest, rolling onto our front side. Right hand also plants beside the right side of the chest. And we'll press our way back into puppy posture. Hips stack above the knees. Arms are nice and long. Forehead taps to the ground. Underarms are open. Back is long and stretching. There's a bit of a saddle in the back as we lift the tail up to the sky. Let's look ahead. And chaturanga, back down onto our tummies, extending the left arm out to the side. Looking to the right, we can always find a different variation through the left arm. Pressing open using the right hand, we bend right leg and plant right foot behind our outstretched left leg. Right arm can stay on the mat, go to the hip or to the lower back. Let's breathe here, opening up the front of the chest, shoulder girdle, and interior deltoids through the shoulders. Let's bring the right arm back through to center onto our mat, finding our bellies. Option to stay right here for final relaxation. Or, if we'd like, we can begin to push our way up and make our way onto our backs for our Shavasana. Let's give ourselves a moment to settle in to our final relaxation. Just making sure that nothing's getting in our way of our nervous system's full ability to relax. Let's start to come into some nice, long, even breaths. We might breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's continue finding these nice, long, rhythmic breaths. Just seeing if we can start to slow the thoughts of the mind and keep the mind clear for just a little longer. Let's soften the forehead. Right eyebrow and left eyebrow. Right eye and left eye. Let's separate the teeth in the back of the mouth, releasing our jaw, cheeks, temples and ears. Let's feel a grounding sensation through the back of the head, right shoulder blade and left shoulder blade. All the way down right arm, grounding and relaxing. All the way down left arm, connected and restoring. From the back of the head, down the back of the neck, down the spine, grounding into our mats, releasing and restoring here. Feeling right glute and left glute completely relax. Right hip and left hip. Releasing all tension and completely letting go into the security of the mat beneath us. Relax the pelvis and the pelvic floor. Feel all the way down right leg, knee, calf, ankle, resting and restoring. All the way down left leg, back of the leg, back of the knee, calf and ankle, resting and restoring here. The whole body grounded and connected. The whole body resting and releasing. Let's lie here, continuing to feel the rise and fall of our chest with every breath. Following the rhythm to aim to keep our minds clear. We'll lie here quietly, resting and restoring for just a few more moments. I'll bring you out of it when the time is right. Let's take a couple more big breaths in and out here. Maybe our breath becomes a little more energetic, or that sigh of relief, that sense of validation sweeps through us in our breath, knowing that we completed movement, mindfulness, connection here today. Let's take a big stretch up over the head. Invite some movement back into the body, maybe through the fingers, wrists, or ankles. And we'll roll over onto our right side. Pausing here for a moment. We'll push our way up to seated. Allow yourself to settle into Sukhasana, seated position. a few shoulder rolls into the back body, feeling all the work we did through the shoulders today. Bringing hands into prayer mudra, hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining me from beautiful Cal Lake on our mats here today. For more information about our programs, you can check out harmonyhealthandfitness.ca. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much for coming. Namaste.